Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Space Invaders for the Atari 2600. In the last video, we played game modes 2, 3, and 4. In those game modes, I played with moving shields and zigzagging bombs before combining both of those rule variations. I thought I would just be having a couple of quick games where I just showed the four main variations that the game has with the rules. The moving shields, the zigzagging bombs, the fast bombs, and the invisible invaders. But I ended up doing a little better on game modes 2, 3, and 4 than I thought I would. And I ended up playing 3 games with 3 game modes in the last video. So now we're going to be trying Mode 5. Mode 5 gives us the fast bomb. And thankfully, the game gives us a nice little preview of what we're going to expect. The enemy projectiles are going much faster. You really can't afford to panic. You really can't afford to double back. You really can't afford to second guess yourself. They're firing those bombs, and they're firing them straight at you, and they are coming in fast. So, I don't know what else to say other than let's rock. Well, that was fast. These guys are coming for you. And you just really got to be ready to move. Or else you are going to get annihilated. That is all that can really be said. I know I'm going to get used to this eventually. I eventually will. And once that happens, I'm not exactly going to be a novice at this for much longer. Wow. Let's try this again. Really need to be careful. Just really need to watch what is going on, or else I am just going to get absolutely reamed. Just need to pay attention to the enemies that are in front of me. Okay. I'm about to say I made a little bit of headway. Let's see how farther I can get without getting shot again. But, well, that didn't really go very well now, did it? Okay. Now, if I can do this... Come on. There we go. Managed to get one wave cleared with that. It's a good thing I think I have the shield still. So that way I don't get absolutely destroyed. And I was down to my last life there. Still want to get 1,000 points on this, though. I still want to get 1,000 points on this game mode before I am satisfied. So I want to keep at it with this. And I know that I'm not exactly doing the most intelligent thing doing it this way. But what else can I do? Come on. Well, that'll get rid of you. Now to get rid of the bottommost rows. Still getting hit. I still can't get past the bombs. Because they're just coming down so quickly. There we go. And I'm down to 1 life. This is my last shot at this. And I thought I could avoid that bomb. Oh, man. I was doing so well with the moving shield and the zigzagging bombs, but once the fast bombs come my way, it's not all that easy. Let's see what else we got for our game modes. Mode 6 combines the fast bombs with the moving shields. And Mode 7 combines the fast bombs with the zigzagging bombs. I have the feeling I'm not going to do well at either of those. Mode 8 combines moving shields, zigzagging bombs, and the fast bombs. Again, I have the feeling I'm not going to do well at that mode either. Now, Mode 9 is the first one to bring us invisible enemies. Let us see how well we can do with this. So here is how invisible enemies works. The enemies are clearly invisible. Whenever you hit one, you can see the enemies again temporarily. When that happens, you'll be able to see the enemies and you can better plan your moves. And when you're better able to plan your moves, you can wipe these guys out in no time. And because these guys are coming at a slightly faster speed, I can kind of see when they're going to show up there. Wow, that was amazing. Well, I guess it's time to start going all the way to the one side and then just aiming appropriately. Can I hit something, please? Maybe I should have just did it this way. And now the shields are coming down. Brilliant. And I am not talking a whole lot because I am concentrating like no tomorrow. I can't tell what I'm doing or where anything is. These things are going to be... Yep, they made it to the bottom of the screen. I couldn't see them. But I still got 1,500 points on what was the second wave of playing with invisible enemies, so that was nice. I'm okay with that. Mode 10 combines the invisible enemies with the moving shield. Mode 11 combines the invisible invaders with the zigzagging bombs. 12 gives us moving shields, zigzagging bombs, and invisible invaders. Had to get a drink of tea there. And I had to cough there too. Gonna have to mute the mic there in editing. Mode 13 combines the fast bomb with the invisible invaders. 14 gives us moving shields, fast bombs, and Invisible Invaders. 15 gives us Zigzagging Bombs, Fast Bombs, and Invisible Invaders. 16 gives us all 4 rule variations at the same time. Moving Shields, Zigzagging Bombs, Fast Bombs, and Invisible Invaders, all at once. I'm going to play this mode just for fun. Let's do this. And, oh dear. I don't care what kind of score I get here. I got 30 points. And I tried to get to one side of the screen, and I only shot down like 4 invaders. I only got shot down 4 enemies. Because I had no idea what to do, and I had no idea what to expect from anything. And I have now taken all of 3 videos to explain all 16 rule variations. But there is more. If you go to 17, you'll have 1 ship, but instead of 1 player, there's 2. Player 1 plays as the ship, then player 2, then player 1, then player 2, until the both of you lose all your lives. 17 through 32, the game modes 17 through 32, are the same as game modes 1 through 16. If you know the rule variations for modes 1 through 16, you know what they are in order for 17 through 32. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to number 33. There's a red ship on the right side of the screen now. Or a different colored ship on the right side of the screen. This allows for 2-player simultaneous play. 33 through 48 are the same as 1 through 16, except you have a 2-player simultaneous mode. So, if you want to play with any of the rule variation combinations from 1 through 16, if you know which mode is which, you can play with the variations that you and your friend want. I'm now going to go ahead and skip to number 49. '49 through 64 are the same as 33 through 48, and therefore the same as 1 through 16, but the thing is, both of you just can't shoot whenever you want. This is 2-player simultaneous with alternating shots. What this means is 1 player shoots and then the other player can shoot. And given that you can only have 1 shot on screen at any given time, the both of you had better make those shots count. And rather interesting mode that. I'm now going to go ahead and skip to number 65. With this mode, both players share the same ship. 1 player is able to move to the right, but the other player can only move to the left. Both of you will have to cooperate in order to move the ship where you both need to get it to and avoid enemy shots and take out enemies and what have you. 65 through 80 are the same as 1 through 16, respectively. Now skipping to number 81. 81 through 96 alternating fire and control. Here's how I'm guessing this works. One player gets to fire and control the ship. I'm pretty sure that when the one player controlling the ship fires, control goes over to the other person. So the both of you have to be able to pay attention and cooperate just to make this mode work. 81 through 96 are the same as modes 1 through 16. And finally, I'm skipping to 97. One player moves, the other player fires. Self-explanatory. One player moves the ship, the other player fires the gun. Again, another mode where you have to pay attention if you want to succeed and shoot down invaders and get things done and get a high score. 97 through 112 are the same as modes 1 through 16. So we have 16 game modes spread out through 6 or 7 different 1/2 player modes. You have the basic game, which is just the 1 player. You have the alternating turns, which is 2 player alternating, meaning that when one person dies, the other person gets to play. There's the competing at the same time, which is the 2 player simultaneous. You have a ship, your friend has a ship, and you both go firing away. You have the competing at the same time with the alternating shots. You fire, then your friend fires, then you fire, then your friend fires. Then there's one player moves right, other player moves left, where one of you gets one direction and the other person gets the other direction, and you both really have to cooperate. There's alternating fire and control, which switches control from one person to the other. I want to say every time one person fires or after a certain amount of time or something of that nature. And finally, there's one player moves, other player fires, where one person controls the ship and the other person controls the gun. 7 different ways to play. Some have 1 ship, some have 2 ships. One of them has 1 player. The rest are 2 player mode variations. And that is it, really. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to mode 1. I know that wasn't exactly the best explanation of all the 2 player modes, especially since I don't have a second player to further show everything off, and it would be a chore to do it myself. And that's pretty much all that there is to say about Space Invaders for the Atari 2600. Not much to say here. Some good alien shooting, innocent fun for 1 or 2 people. There's a lot of rule variations. There's a lot of game modes for you to have a lot of fun with. And while it may not be a 1-to-1 conversion of the arcade game, it still has plenty of replay value. There's still quite a bit of fun to be had with this game so many years later. And is definitely one to get for the Atari 2600 library. So, how does this game stack up? The graphics. You can tell what the invaders look like. You can tell what your ship looks like. I do like the fact that if you press... What is it? What is it? Yeah, if you press the difficulty switches, you can make your ship wider and more narrow. Default difficulty is B or Novice. But if you switch it to A or Expert, you basically double the length of your ship. I forgot to mention that. I should be mentioning that now. It really doesn't make your shots bigger, but it does make your ship a bigger target to hit. And it does make things a little more difficult. And I don't know what else there is to say. Well, you do have a black and white mode and a color mode. That's great. Might as well show that off too. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the graphics. Pretty simple, but they get the job done. I can't really complain much about them. Sound and music. Well, there's not really a lot of music. There's no music at all, actually. There's plenty of sound, though, and it's very arcadey, and it's what you'd expect from a game like Space Invaders. Things blow up, missiles fire, bombs get dropped. What's here works. And the play control. I didn't have much problem in the way of play control. You move left, you move right, you fire bombs at the enemies, you try not to get hit yourself. I really can't complain about the controls at all. I feel like the ship moves at just about the right speed. And I feel like every time I die, I feel more like it's my fault than the game's. And replay value. As I mentioned earlier, there is plenty of replay value in this game, with not only the one-player mode, but with also, if you have a friend who is willing to play this, the various two-player modes with various rules, such as two-player alternating, two-player simultaneous, one player moving right and the other moving left, alternating fire and control, and all that. You get several ways to play, especially if you have a friend on board. And is this game worth putting in the Atari 2600 library? Definitely yes. This is definitely one to keep on hand for an Atari 2600 gaming session at all times. This is a rather fun game to play. This is definitely a must-have for the Atari 2600. And I don't really know what else to say other than that. So, this has been Let's Play Space Invaders. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did, maybe a little bit more. Hopefully I will be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.